Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is SmartFlow. So let's grab a ring rail, and a size M will be fine. And then with that, we're going to hit an F6 and grab an outside ring rail and kind of determine, the outer shape of this particular piece. So let's go with a that climb look here. Let's see, maybe something like that there is a good example. No, this one here. Alright, so we've got this here, and once we've determined our thicknesses and all that kind of thing, we're going to move forward. So next thing I want to do is, if I wanted a shape like this, which looks like that, to conform to this kind of flowy kind of shape here, here's how I do it. First of all, I'm going to grab this and let's just extrude it. We'll create a solid out of it first. So, I don't know, say something like that. And then what I want to do is I'm going to grab a curve, just a single line, that point there, and make sure you hit both sides. And in the side viewport here, I just kind of want to take that, I don't know, to about, say, 10 mil. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So down to the about the quarter way, and make sure you have both sides on again in the side viewport, and take that to 10 mil. Now I'm going to turn my grid snap off because I've got it on at the moment. So now what I want to do is I want to select my outer ring rail here and go to F6, actually go to surface command and just go to sweep 1. Now the cross-section curve is going to be this one here and that one there, and then hit enter. I don't want to close sweep, so I'm going to hit OK to that, and that's just going to give me something that looks like that. Let's pop that onto the red layer color just for the moment. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to select my new surface that we've just created and go into the transform menu and go to SmartFlow, and I want to select auto base. And there's my auto base there. Now, the next thing I want to do is grab my piece here, and probably just in the looking down viewport, I guess probably move this in a little bit. So let's grab this and just place it where we want it to go. So up around there like that, just manipulate it into position. And what we end up with is something that looks like that there. Now again, because we've used SmartFlow, we can determine the thickness of this, we can determine where we want it to go, but you can see here that it is now conforming to that that outer shape there, or that new surface that we've got there, which will certainly give your designs that whole new dimension, instead of having a just a flat piece straight up like that. Alright, the next thing that I want to talk about as well is SmartFlow Rigid. Now let's just say we've got a gemstone on here. Let's grab out a round gem, and I don't know, say maybe a 2 mil. And if I grab that 2 mil and then create a bezel for it, say something like that there, then we grab this bezel and we place it on to our base surface. And I'll just manipulate that so it's, say, here for example. And we've got our bezel here, so let's place that where we want it to go. And I've kind of got all of this upside down, so I wonder if I just select my piece here and hit flip and hit enter. There we go, that's better. Alright, so now we've got everything the right way up. So if I grab my bezel here and just take that into position, then what we can see here is we can see that the bezel itself is deformed around this piece. Now that's obviously not what we want. So to make that correct, we can simply select the bezel itself. For one reason, we've got 2 of them there, so let's just bring that back. So we can select the bezel eventually. There we go. And we can go back to our transform menu and select SmartFlow Rigid. And when we click on that, then that, we can delete this outer one here, will give us a bezel that is well, it's meant to be the way it is. And you know, of course, you can still move this particular piece around wherever you want. It will be rigid wherever you move it. Obviously, you want the stone with that. But yeah, wherever you take that piece, and then, you know, because I broke history, then we need to go through that procedure again. So SmartFlow rigid, the object to change, which is well, if we click on that one, enter, nothing happens. But if we click on the original one, enter, then that brings that back to the rigid motion there. Alright, I hope that helps.